Hello everyone, I am Tacit and welcome to the Gems of War Campaign 14! Week 9, day 2. So today, of course, we are going to be doing the faction. We have the faction event for good old Hull of Guardians. I'll be continuing with the events that we have going on as well. Most notably the summer event, so that we can hopefully have this troop by tomorrow. And be able to get that, of course, 50 gems per day. And we'll be good to go. And we'll go for the troop first, and the armor, then the pet, and then eventually the orb at the end. Anyways, that's the game plan. So hello, Barbara. Hello, Logic Slayer. Hello, everyone else. What was your question? I saw that earlier. Let's see. The question... let's see. Oh, you're asking Logic Slayer. Let's see. Never mind. Though you had a question for us. But yeah, we somewhat went over our name in the past. So it's been a while. Anyways, what was we doing? We were doing, let's just start with the faction event. Of course, as far as the faction event is concerned, we have ourselves a brown-yellow restriction, so you know who I want to use. And you know what's even better this week? Guard's avatar is 20% bonus stats. He's also an event key drop table, by the way. Though, of course, the chance of getting him pretty low if you try going for keys there. But he is indeed there. Somewhere's in there, if you eventually try. It's such a low chance. It's, technically there's 3, so... What is that, like 1 in 3,000 keys or so? Which is very unlikely, but you know, there's still a chance in there. Anyways, better just wait for the Soul Forge one, a rotation. So let's go run it for the event. Biggest issue with this faction event is generally the spell reduction on the final battle. They all have 25% or 50% reduction, which makes this place decently annoying. Speaking of which, double Iron Gut. That's definitely a way to go around it if you want to. Can't get spell reduced if you just one-shot them. Oh yeah, Barbara, never mind. Barbara, you had a different question. What was your question? I was hello, Defiant. Welcome, welcome. Hope all you guys have been a wonderful week so far. Good old water. We have a 2,000 requirement for seals. So do our seals, and then we get a notice mail for 50 seals for winning the day in Guild Wars. Generally, the way that the 50 seals work for Guild War is, if you already have your 2,000 seals, you actually get an additional 50 per day. It's a weird one that counts towards your cap, because there's basically 3 category of points that you can get when it comes to seals. There are seals that you just earn naturally that can exceed your cap. Like, for example, you know, you win a battle. Like, we just got seals for winning that battle. For example, like those. Those only go up to 2,000 per week, and they can never go higher than that. But there are 2 other types of seals. One of them is whenever you use an orb, those will overwrite your max. So let's say you use an orb that does 300, that will go 300, you know, above your max. So basically you go to 2,300 in that situation. However, there's another weird category of seals. Everything under that category, I'm not actually sure the full list, but one of the more noteworthy ones is what you actually mentioned, the 50 that you get per day from Guild War. Basically how that works is it counts towards your total if and only if you don't have 2,000 yet. But if you already have 2,000 souls, 2,000 seals, it actually exceeds your total. So if you're already at 2,000 by like Tuesday, and then, you know, you win on Guild War, or, you know, the guild wins on Guild War, that would actually bring you technically to 2,050 seals earned that week. So yeah, it's basically like 2.5 gem keys every single time that happens. And, yeah, it basically exceeds your total, but counts towards your total if you didn't already have the total. It's a bit of a weird one. I think there are a few other instances of it like that as well. For example, the seals that you get per day for PvP rank, I think you get like, what, 18 or 19 of them or whatever it is for rank 1 PvP if you go for it. Those, if you already have 2,000, will just be extra seals, but if you don't already have 2,000, it'll count towards your 2,000 limit. So one thing that you could actually do to maximize your amount of seals per week is actually to get to 1.9k PvP rating every single Monday, and that would give you slightly more seals over the course of the week. It just adds up to be a little bit extra. And the same applies for Guild War. Technically, to maximize the amount of Guild War seals you get, you would want to have 2,000 by the end of Tuesday. Well, technically by the end of Monday if you also want to utilize the other things, max amount of seals. So, generally speaking, if you want to absolutely maximize your seals, just get 2,000 PvP ranking every Monday. Which is something we personally don't always do, or barely ever do, just because I'm not in as much of a need for seals. But to maximize the number, it is generally the way to go. It's just something we don't necessarily do. but it does maximize your loot ever so slightly more. Anyways, hello everyone, by the way. Hello, Isabel. Hello, Tyrion. Hello, Lester. Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, does that answer the question? Let's see. I think that answers the question. Not sure if I slightly did answer the wrong question there, but I think that's what you were asking. Yes, hello, Humberto. Welcome, welcome. But yeah, long story short, it's one of the few that are in the weird in-between, where they count towards your total if you don't already have 2,000, or they exceed your total if you do. Whereas the ones that you earn towards your 2,000 from doing like win X battles and stuff like that, those will never exceed 2,000, regardless of how you got there. And the ones that are from orbs exceed your total, and still allow you to hit the 2,000 on the other thing. But basically just bring your cap up with it, as if you got nothing, in a sense. Or, you know, that you still got them, but it doesn't interfere with any of your gains that you would have gotten throughout the week. Whereas things like the daily seals, Guild War seals, stuff like that, you basically have to max out your seals early in order to fully maximize on them. I don't think there's any other mechanics in that. I think it's just the two. I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting of one, though. But I know the two of them are daily seals and Guild War wins. I'm pretty sure there's some other seal gain that falls in that weird in-between I'm forgetting about. There's not too many ways to earn seals in the game, though. Like there's a lot of ways to just passively earn them, like towards your 2,000. But I mean, like, other random ways, there are very few within the game. Hello, Chris. Welcome, welcome. It's actually treated very similarly to how Glory used to be back in the day. Glory, when it first came out, was actually capped at how many you could even get per day. And it was based on your PvP rating thing. Which is actually one of the parts that earn you seals now. That used to be Glory, but they actually just changed it to the seal gain instead. It used to be Glory back in the day. Let's see. You're working on the Pure Faction for this place? Nice. Yeah, it is one of the more annoying ones. It's also one of the only feuds I did without potions. Back when it was way harder to do them without potions. These days it's not as bad. It's still hard, obviously. But we have a lot more stats compared to before. We also technically have a new Deep Delve troop. However, it's kind of weird. I don't think the Deep Delve troop for any faction has been viable within the faction. It's so weird. Like, we're getting another Deep Delve this Friday, which I actually don't really remember what the troop is. But we're getting another Deep Delve this Friday. But so far, the Pure Faction team has not been tweaked a single time for any of the new Deep Delve troops. It's just been whatever you would normally run is just what you still run. It's kind of strange. Not sure if they're going to adjust that in the future, make that a little bit better. But a lot of them just haven't been that good. Did you see the new Goblin Epic troop in the spoilers? That's going to be a Skeleton Key. Oh! So you mean like gold boost ratio, auto action turn? That's pretty cool. I haven't seen it yet. It should be sometime next month then. Obviously, pretty much everything's next month at this point because this month's almost over. This month went super quick too. Like, this month ends what? This Friday? Well, technically this Saturday. Because Saturday's July 1st, if I'm not mistaken. Oh yeah, July 4th's next week too. I don't have any plans for 4th of July yet. Not sure if I'm gonna get any between now and then. But I currently don't have any. Good old American holiday. But currently no plans. What day does July 4th fall on? Tuesday. Interesting. Yeah, Tuesday next week. It's already broken. Well, let's see what it is when it comes out, because sometimes they get tweaked before they get released. That tends to happen. Though more so to Mythics than to Standard Troops, but it can happen to Standard Troops as well. Also, we keep getting a Deep Delve variant for this place, which is annoying, because the other variant's actually a lot easier. However, I believe this place does come with like a treasure room or two. Because when Hall of Guardians first came out, because it was one of the two first factions in the entire game, they both came out simultaneously, treasure rooms weren't a thing back then. So normal Hall of Guardians actually has 0 treasure room. But the Deep Delve variant, I believe has 2. One in top and one in bottom. Right here. Oh, yeah, this one. Right there and right there are guaranteed treasure rooms. Whereas the normal layout of Hall of Guardians has 0 treasure rooms. Yeah, Guards Avatar were 20% damage. I just realized I'm not even using armor right now. But with 20%, I might not even need armor. But just in case, you know what? Let's go like 20% into the double armor. We have it set up for a reason. Might as well use it. Because this is going to work out pretty well for this. Actually, a lot of things this week. Guards after having 20% this week, just really, really solid. Obviously, a few other things also benefit from it. But as far as anything that got 20% this week, it is gaining the biggest amount of benefit out of any of them by quite a margin. And not too many of them got it. It's only Divine Knights. It's not like a kingdom in a typing, because generally more things cover that type. But specifically double typing. Though there are quite a few Divine Knights in the game. There's very few of them are actually useful. And surprisingly, a lot of them are mythics, oddly enough. Like a good majority of all the Divine Knights are mythics, or from Sword's Edge, or from Whitehelm. Which makes sense, as this is a Whitehelm event week. Hello, Chad! Welcome, welcome. The next Doom weapons are going to be broken as well. Oh, are they finally good? I didn't actually look at them, because they haven't been updated yet. Or, you know, when I last checked them. Ooh, we might need to go over a bunch of stuff. Maybe we'll do it later this stream. Did they just update it pretty recently? Because last I recall, we couldn't see what the next Doom weapons were. But yeah, it is right around the corner. It's in 2 weeks from now. We're probably getting a patch that week, too. Most likely. Are you going to upgrade your Magic Kingdom after 7.0? I might. I still haven't decided which one I will do, though. It's a toss-up between Kakarot and Darkstone. But yeah, I probably will after 7.0. I just need to see what happens in 7.0, and then we'll make our determination. If I had to guess, it's probably going to be Kakarot. And the main reason being is just Zolgoth exists. Pretty much Zolgoth existing. I do feel like Darkstone has a better hero class. But also, When on Earth was the last time I used Plague Lord, or whatever it's called. Like, it is so situational. Because there's just other hero classes that are just it but better for the most part. It is unique in that it has, like, disease and spell reduction combination. But there are better ways to do similar. And of course, Darkstone most notably has Thrall. But of course, we could eventually have a better Thrall in the future. We already saw them add Bork. Like, Bork isn't better Thrall, but it's alternative Thrall for different coverage. So we might see them start to add more Borks to the game. Or essentially more Thralls, essentially. But, you know, more things like Bork. Where they essentially are just an alternative Thrall that's similar, but under certain circumstances you would run the other one. I still feel like Thrall out of any Mass Destroyer is still the overall best. But, you know, there's a lot of alternatives. There's Marilith with its +1 link. There's Bogstrider with its really good Skull negation, both from Skull Reduction and Entangle. There's Bork for the 50% mana start to basically be a double-colored Thrall, though it does less Destroy. What other ones? I feel like I'm forgetting a few. Excuse me. Gosh, water making me burp somehow. Not sure how. Not like it's carbonated water. I guess I'm just drinking it too quick. I know, I've been really thirsty today. It's been getting really warm lately. I haven't been checking the weather channel lately. Is there like a heat wave or something? Because gosh, has it been warm? Oh, I've been chugging down so much water. Luckily, there is a working AC in this house, which we had to get reworking. We had a big issue with that a couple years ago when the hurricane ended up taking it out. Luckily, we've gotten everything situated since then. It's been situated for the last couple years. Kakarot has one more troop, too. Oh, so Kakarot technically could get there quicker. Though not quite, because all it takes is one Deep Delve. Because neither of them have a Deep Delve yet. And which one got a Deep Delve first? I'm trying to think. I would need to double check what both their factions are. Because they've been somewhat doing it in order. So that's another way to do it, too. Because which one's going to get the Deep Delve first? What's Kakarot's Deep Delves and what's the other ones? I can kind of do it based on where it is. Wait, All-Seeing Eye already... Wait... Isn't this associated to, because that one already got a Deep Delve. Wait, has one of these not gotten a Deep Delve yet and one has? Because the one that hasn't gotten the Deep Delve would be more favorable. Isn't that Kakarot? Let me double check. Does Kakarot have a Deep Delve? I don't remember. Let's see. Or not a Deep Delve, I mean, Well, that would only make a 1 troop difference. What was I thinking of? What's that one mechanic that adds like a few troops all at once? That isn't Delve. Because yeah, Deep Delve only adds 1. What mechanic was I thinking of? There was something that was bringing in like a lot earlier. Like one of the newer events they had. Whenever it rolls around. Oh, maybe I was thinking of the pets for Legends Reborn or something. Because those aren't troops, those are just 4 new pets. Kingdom Rework normally doesn't bring any. Oh yeah, Kingdom Pass. Yeah, Kingdom Pass generally brings in a few all at once. Because generally they're all focused on the same kingdom. Not always, but more often than not. Like the Tarot card and the troop both get associated to the same kingdom. What does Deep Delve help? Oh, there's a Deep Delve this Friday. Oh, what is a Deep Delve? Basically, it's a new mechanic they added about a year ago? Last year? Sometime last year, I believe. Basically, there's not much to it. It essentially allows you to spend double sigils in order to get a treasure room there. It gives you a new layout, most of which have been better than the original layout. Not all of them, but a good majority of them have been better than their original layout, while also having more treasure rooms. As well as you get a new troop on that day. And we'll be having one this Friday for 3 days. For Sunken Fleet, I believe it was, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's going to be this Friday. It's not much. It's basically just a 3-day faction event. Kind of like what we have today, but 3 days long, but you get a new troop. It's basically exactly what we do today, but with a new layout, a new troop, and you can now start spending like an extra sigil thing to get like slightly more loot there. But that's not really worth it if you haven't maxed out all the factions yet. Even if you have, it's still not even worth it. I'm not sure why, but they made Deep Delves, like the actual act of doing a Deep Delve, not really that worth it. I'm not sure why, but they're pretty bad value overall. Because the actual loot that you get from 2 individual sigils is better than just running 1 Deep Delve. Like, I guess 1 Deep Delve takes you less time, because it takes you about the same time as, you know, a normal delve. But, oh gosh, how many times do I have to kill this thing? But, I don't know, it's not really that worth it unless you just want to save time. Though I guess I don't even do them at all, so we could technically just be running Deep Delves every single day. I wish Deep Delves cost like 3 sigils, but you got double loot. Instead of what they currently are, where you're getting like barely any extra amount of loot. Like you're getting like maybe 33% more loot at double the cost. Whereas I'd rather have like double loot for triple the cost. Because I would do that if that was a thing. If there was like a super deep delve where you could use 3 sigils but get double loot, that'd be worth it. Karkaroff as of now is 37 and Darkstone's 36. Okay. Yeah, I'll probably just go into Karkaroff. I still want to wait for next patch just in case though. Because any number of things can happen next patch. 7.0s haven't always had the most notorious track record for doing, like, ultra-revolutionary things. However, some of them definitely have been. That basically changed, like, the whole direction of the game. And I highly doubt 7.0 will be that revolutionary, but you never know. Any big .0 patch technically could. Because some of the things we got on .0 were traits existing, the entirety of Underworld existing, the whole season mechanic. Like, seasons in general, as a mechanic, was actually a .0 update. And we're, what, 14 seasons deep now? Soon to be 15 in a couple weeks. Oh, sorry, I didn't see Supernova's question. Actually, I don't even see Supernova's comment. Also, hello, Tyrion, by the way. Welcome, welcome. Also, hello, Rova. Let's see. Oh, Supernova, there you are. Hello, Supernova! Let's see. The magic buffs, you can max Queen Beatrix faster. What happened to the booty gems? Oh yeah, booty gems are coming next season. It's still not an achievement you can get. But likely next campaign, for campaign 15, we should be getting booty gems. But yeah, it is currently impossible to get the booty gem achievement. But you will be able to in 3 weeks from now. Because next week is the final week of this campaign. The following week, we're probably getting 7.0 and a Tower of Doom event. And then that following week will be the Booty Gym week. Well, technically the Booty Gym 10 weeks. And I don't know if we know what it does yet. I believe it's like a gold thing, from what I heard earlier. Where you like take it and it gives you gold, or you explode it and takes you gold. I believe it counts as like a block, or you know, where it doesn't combine with anything. But when you explode it or destroy it, it gives you like 10 gold or something. Which isn't a lot. I'm not sure if they're going to tweak it by the time it gets released. But 10 gold per time you destroy it isn't really that much. But it depends how many things create. Like, if things are creating like 5, 10 at a time, if we get some really good gold boost ratio troops to go with it, has a lot of potential. Like, next season might be the season that finally brings gold boost ratio back to relevancy. Gold boost ratio is still used occasionally in the current state of the game, though it has fallen off like crazy ever since Skeleton Key was nerfed a couple years back. And I have a feeling gold boost ratio is eventually going to make a comeback next season. Because there's a lot of potential for gold boost ratio and just gold using troops that might actually be viable, that can synergize with what already exists. Who knows, maybe Egg Thief will be good again. Egg Thief's one of those weird Mass Destroyers that is theoretically among one of the strongest ones in the game, but because it takes so long to get going, it's almost never used. Because one of the whole points of Mass Destroyers, for the most part, is to win very quickly, and she has way too much time getting rolling. But once she gets rolling, she's actually the most unkillable Mass Destroyer in the entire game. It's just she's very rarely used because gold boost ratio teams aren't used too much. And the speed at which she gets there is a bit slow compared to the average Mass Destroyer. She's basically just Marilith without Mana Link if you don't get her going. Plus, she'll have less destroys on her first cast if you don't have a bunch of gold synergy with her. So she's basically just worse Egg Thief. Egg Thief is basically just worse Marilith in a lot of situations in the current state of the game. But she could become really meta again if gold meta ever comes back. We'll just have to wait and see. What if booty gems increase your gold bonus instead? That could potentially work. I'm not sure what exactly they're doing with it. Until it comes out, we don't really know because they could just change it last minute. Kakarot is locked at 27 due to lack of weapons. Darkstone will hit 28 first with the 37th troop on 9/11. Interesting. Wait, how is Kakarot locked out by weapons? I thought all the older kingdoms have like 1.5 billion weapons. Because that was one of the original 15. So, hello, George. Welcome, welcome. How does Kakarot not have enough weapons to get an upgrade? I gotta say booty gems. 58 more times. Oh, well, would that be 59 booty, or 69 booty gems? I don't think Lester's here tonight. We don't have to say it 69 times. I will take that over. Grab our little bit of loot. Not sure why I'm grabbing some of it now, but we can try for our luck on an orb. Anyways, we gotta go clear this one out and then the next floor. I was about to go check something. I already forgot what it was. It was related to something. Oh yeah, Kakarot's number of weapons. How on earth is Kakarot locked by weapons? How many weapons does Kakarot have? Weapon, Kakarot. Because I could have sworn the original OG 15 have like more than enough weapons. Like way more than enough. I know it's not that few. There's what, 13? Soon to be 14 when it gets like one from an event soon. Or I would assume it gets one from an event soon. How many does it need? 16? Because if it only needs 14, it should get that pretty soon. Like by the time it needs it, they're gonna add another one most likely. That's not guaranteed, but they probably will. And it does mean we'd be required to upgrade Cauldron. Though, at this point, I think I already have enough to upgrade every Doom weapon. I've just been holding out because I want to do it mostly with the orbs rather than using the actual deeds themselves. Or not the deeds, whatever you call them. The Forge Scrolls. I want to try not using any of the Forge Scrolls. Which is why I'm waiting on it. To see if we can just get enough orbs outright. The major orbs. It is the game plan. Also, gosh, that spell reduction is so high. It is all live. Luckily, our hero's near unkillable. Oh, how is there? It's not a good option there. Nice, we got a brown from Sky. 50% spell reduction is so much spell reduction. Alright, final section. Unless we didn't get enough multiplier, which is a good chance we didn't, but find out. Because this place definitely isn't the best for multiplier order. That is for sure. Though, we have been getting the Deep Delve variant quite a bit. Which does help it out because the non-Deep Delve variant is pretty bad for points. because it was one of the first delves in the game, and they've scaled them up quite a bit since then. But since we've gotten so many more of the deep delves that have an overall higher multiplier, we should be okay. Hello, Jamie. Welcome, welcome. Booty gems give... yeah, this is what I mentioned before. Booty gems give 10 gold when destroyed, and they count as a neutral gem, as in they can't be matched or anything. I was mentioning that they might rework it before it comes out, though. But if they don't, hopefully things will create enough booty gems, because 10 gold for destroying it is a very bad effect. But if things have good boost ratio based on it, and good boost ratios based on gold, and other things to go synergize with it, then it should be fine. But we'll have to wait and see. It's one of those power gems that on face value does basically nothing. But if the troops have enough synergy with it, it could actually be really strong. It really just comes down to what everything does. Because the gem itself is really bad. But the synergy with the gem might be so good that it actually technically makes the gem good. Because almost no team would benefit, even gold farming teams. Barely any team would benefit from a gem that gets 10 gold when destroyed. But with the right boost ratios, it could make some teams pretty good. It could also be a way to quickly speed up the gold rates of other teams. Because right now, one of the main ways that you do it is using Greed. Greed instantly maxes out your gold later in the game. And you just turn 1 max gold, which kind of invalidates the entire gold mechanic a lot of times. Which is one of the reasons I mentioned that thing's generally not too good. Anything that just gives you gold outright. Because there are already ways to max out your gold, literally turn 1 instantly. And of course, Leprechaun exists. While it's not 100 gold, or, the cap of gold, it is 1/5 of your cap, which, that's a lot. It's not instantly maxed, but it is a pretty good chunk. Though that combined with those booty gems could be kind of interesting. Because if you have booty gems at start of turn, and you already create like 2 or plus booty gems and then you use Leprechaun, well, you're already at like max cash stack, or half cash stack, within a single Leprechaun cast, which is kind of interesting. I wonder if they'll add another gold version of Leprechaun. Like basically a mana accumulator that also gives gold on turn 1. Basically a Leprechaun 2.0. Like something like that with less explode but more gold could kind of work. Or it gives you like half your gold cap, but only like a few destroy, instead of every green on the board. Which is basically in between of what Greed does and what Leprechaun does. Because I would love to see a troop in the in-between there. Not sure if they're going to add it next season or not. But that'd be a nice addition. Something between Greed's max with no mana accumulation, or I guess technically 1 explode if you count its trait. But something between Greed's 1 explode, but max cash, and Leprechaun's 1/5 max cash into mass explode. Like something in between that, like 3 to 5 explodes with like half gold, like 50 gain, or somewhere around there. Like something like that could end up working out. Oh, we actually did get enough points. Nice. Oh, I don't need that though. That's the ingot one. I thought that was a forging for a second, but even if it was, it's only a mini forging. But there we go. Gosh, our ingot number is getting so high. That is 249 ingots now. But anyways, let's go into the code. And then let's go mess with everything else, as we still have many other events. We have the summer event. We have the... Oh yeah, we already finished trials, right? The trials were actually so much easier than I was expecting. I was expecting this White Helm trials to actually be kind of annoying. It was kind of not that bad. The team is actually deceivingly not horrible. It's not good, but it's a lot more coherent than it looks. Anyways, what we're doing? Let's go run. Let's go hand out code first. Let's go do that, and then go and mess with, I guess, the summer event, so I don't forget about it. It's really important to not forget. Keep in mind, unlike many events in Gems of War, you actually do lose value from not doing the summer event every single day. You can't just delay this for like 5 or 6 days and then do it all at once. You could, but it'll cost you a lot more gems. But this is one that you have to do every single day. Otherwise, you lose value on it. And ideally, what you want to do is spend 50 gems every single day on this little thingy, and then do 6 battles every day. And that will get you all the loot. All loot being 1 summer armor, 1 Forenza, then you use a blue orb on it. 6 of the pet, 5 will go to max it, 1 goes to getting the gold copy, and then a orb of power. And of course, you can skip on the orb of power if you really want to and go even less than that. Though I would still go for it in case they have a purpose. And of course, if you don't have Zolgoth or Enraged Karandara yet, definitely make sure to put it towards those. Otherwise, I'm just collecting them in case they have additional purpose beyond that at some point. Just in case. Also, I'm currently running a Quick Heal Diamantina team. We mentioned a cheaper one on the Monday video. I know a lot of people don't have Diamantina, of course. Which is kind of funny because this team minus Diamantina is actually absurdly cheap. It's just 2 epics with a common. But obviously Diamantina makes this team very hard to build, as having a copy of that is not easy to get. Honestly, that was probably the most annoying mythic to ever earn. I feel like even the grind for... what's his name? The grind for the Mimic, the Horde Mimic. I feel like that was a less worse grind than the one for Diamantina. Like, Diamantina is a great troop with a horrible grind. Whereas, the Horde Mimic is a good grind for a horrible troop. It's basically the exact inverse. The one for Diamantina is a bad grind, but you get a good output for it. And the one for the Horde Mimic is you get a bunch of loot along the way, and it's a decent grind because you're actually getting stuff along the way constantly. But gosh, is the troop so horrifically bad. There's not a single use case for Horde Mimic. Out of any troop relative to how hard it is to get, Horde Mimic is essentially the worst troop in the game. From a how hard it is to get relative to how good is it ratio, it is the worst troop in the game. Not because it actually is the worst, though it is pretty far down there. But just the ratio of that combination. Oh, so I just realized, did I not include Horde Mimic in the tier list? Why do I feel like I forgot about it? Where did I rank it? I don't even remember. Because it had to have been pretty far down. I don't know, that video was so long, it kind of just meshed together slightly. Where I actually forget a few things at this point. That was like a 4-hour video. That's a fun one, though. Why don't you do another big project like that sometime? Though hopefully a bit shorter. Try to aim for like an hour on something. There's just some things that are just really long, like that are hard to cover in a short duration. Like if we did 1 hour to do every single mythic, that's like what? That is less than 30 seconds per mythic. Is how much time we would have to rank each one. Which would be absurdly quick if we were to do it that way. Oh, we're already out of sigils. Ah, there we go. I forgot, there's no Val Ravens. I was like, wait, where's my Val Raven? But yeah, there's no Val Ravens in this mode. It works pretty similar to how like those underworld token thingies work. But we should have enough by tomorrow. We're at 348 right now. We need 400. We will 100% have enough to get friends tomorrow. And tomorrow night's stream, that'll be the main thing we're messing with, is seeing what kind of friends and teams we can end up building. I personally feel like she's ultimately going to be weaker Queen Titania. But, I don't know. We'll see how the Fairy Fire mechanic works out for her. I'm just not sure how consistent 1 per turn is really going to be. Because that basically means to fully utilize it, you have to give up turns. Which is not ideal. And in almost every situation, I feel like you would just go Queen Titania instead, or any of the Mythic Fairy Fire options that also do additional effect on top of it. I just don't really see a use case for bringing her out specifically. Anyways. Alright, in other news, we did that. Let's go clear out the other standard dailies, I guess. Adventure board, we just have a handful of gems. Only 15, but you know, every 15 adds up. Okay, we did do Horde Mimic. I know, we have all the timestamps, so it's really easy to find any of them in the future. Also, doing all those timestamps was way more time-consuming than I ever thought it would be. I've never timestamped an entire video, nor ever had that many timestamps in a video. And gosh, is it a lot. Like a lot. Because you have to find each one, get it like just right so it starts at the right time. Then you have to copy-paste it. And I basically have to do it twice because I had it for 2 different sections. One for the alphabetical and one for the tier list order. And then it was just a whole process. It took way longer than initially anticipated. Like, it took longer to get all the timestamps than it did to even record the video. It took that long. And it was a 4-hour video. Alright, I'll take that over, I'll go for dungeon. Anything here? Nope. Awful. Oh, nice. Little emeralds to make up for it, though. Let's see. I'll get past the weakness. Go for this. That's definitely not the team we want. Get our good old Zolgov. I hate using this team when we have 20% less stats, though. It just feels so clunky when it happens. Yeah, Horde Mimic was F tier. That makes sense. The little you get along the grind of the Horde Mimic is amazing. But then you just get like a useless Horde Mimic at the end of it all. Luckily, you do get it in addition to the loot. Horde Mimic does not actually block you from getting any tokens. It is possible to still get a triple token drop and a Horde Mimic in the same roll. So it's actually not stealing any tokens from you. It's just an extra drop on top of it. Let's see. The new patterns in Soulforge under the other section. Oh wait, is there a new format to it now? Wait, did they change Soulforge? Wait, what was this message? I didn't see the message. Did everyone catch the new one-time recipes in the Forge? Wasn't that the other week? Or were you referring to something else? Not sure what the other question was for, though. The Word doc has timestamps too, true. Let's see. Get our Master Scroll off of that. I feel like I need more spreadsheets. I feel like I underutilize spreadsheets. I don't know, I was never big on spreadsheets. They make some things very convenient, though. You thought I was doing old school RuneScape today? Oh no, I'm doing it tomorrow. We're doing it tomorrow around 10 a.m. or noon? Probably 10 a.m. We should wake up early enough. But yeah, they're doing a big update tomorrow. Their second big update of the year. The first one was Bounty Hunter, but that's PvP related, so I didn't really care about that. But this is like their second big update of the year. Though they're doing it in 2 different waves. So they're only doing half of it now. Because they wanted to refine all the other stuff, so... Unfortunately, the full amount of content wasn't released today. They're only like half releasing it today. Due to some issues with testing and some other things, so they're just delaying like half the update. But yeah, they're doing half the update tomorrow. So I'll be messing around with that. But yeah, we'll get back into doing that game here and there again. It's been 3 months since we last did it. It's been a while. I've still been AFKing it in the background. But yeah, hopefully we can get around to bossing some of the more interesting endgame content. Because one of the newer raids that they added last year actually looks pretty cool. I've never gotten around to it, and our account's almost at the point of doing it. Not quite. Probably sometime next month. Definitely after the trip. Possibly even slightly before. But anyways, what we're doing, we did that. I think we have done all the dailies. Which is not true. Let's go help our Guild Reward event. I think it's the last big one we need. Actually, before I do, let me go claim all these shards for it. That's why I was claiming the shards there. I was in the wrong reward screen. I was thinking of this because I was thinking like, oh yeah, we need to go upgrade our metal. But I accidentally did it for the faction earlier. Okay, there we go. And we should be good to go. We'll go for here. Go for fight. And gosh, why are all of our battles the worst one? And of course, we're just going with a quick kill guards avatar team. AFK fighting dragons or chopping wood? Currently, it is mining a rock that turns into blood. If that makes any sense. This is one of the things I mentioned a while back where once we need blood runes, we're going to have like infinite blood runes. Well, it's currently doing the infinite blood rune thing. Which is pretty good because there's actually a spell in that game. There's basically, like it has some books that have like standard things like air magic or fire, you know, like the standard ones. But there's also an ancient one that is also getting an update later this year. That's one of the other big ones they're doing. Desert Treasure 2. But basically, it has like some special ones where it has like shadow magic and ice magic, but most notably it has blood magic, and blood magic is pretty much just lifesteal. And in a game that has very minimal lifesteal, it is ridiculously strong. They have been adding some slightly more lifesteal over time, but they've been really hesitant with it because it's a very broken mechanic in every game. And it was one of the things that kind of ruined the balance in RuneScape 3, which is one of the reasons why they even needed old school RuneScape in the first place, was all the horrible balance things that they did wrong in the previous game. And one of those was they made lifesteal just way too easy back in the day. But in old school RuneScape, they've toned it down quite a bit. But it's one of the few that still remains that's just always been around. So they're really useful. Especially since our account is running with 1 life and doesn't want to die. And they're very good for not dying. Let's see, we'll throw that down. Because we still haven't died on that account yet. Which is actually kind of surprising. I think we're within like the top 5%. So we haven't really been doing anything too lethal on the account. But I think we're within like the top 5% in the game of people who haven't died. It's actually kind of surprising, because the account hasn't even been running that long. Let's see. Did you know that you could make a team that creates 16 elemental stars? Which one? I haven't personally looked into too many of the elemental star builds. Though messing with Wand has definitely made me more interested in the mechanic again. Because Wand is actually kind of insane with elemental stars. I just could have sworn that most of the options with it weren't that good when they first came out. No, there was just a synergy I didn't see. Because that tends to happen sometimes. Or you just don't have the foresight to see like every single thing that something gets used for. Because there's just so many troops in the game to like test everything with. Because there's what, 1,200 something these days? It's just really hard to test every single one to every single other option. So sometimes later on, things get teams that are just like really broken down the line, even though they've existed for months or years. Wand of Stars with 2-time Hero Door and Mirage Queen. Yeah, that would end up working. Doesn't have enough damage, though. I actually forget what Hero Door even does damage-wise. Let me double check. Is that enough damage? Does this feel like it's enough damage? Let's see. Wait, how do you spell it? Oh, Halidor. Yeah, he didn't have that much damage, though. True damage to the first enemy boosted by brown gems and allies. It's not a particularly high amount. Also, the elemental star amount's pretty low, too. But yeah, I did use this guy a little bit when he first came out. I didn't really care for him that much, though. Like, I tried doing him into a Weaver build because he hits first slot, and then you can, like, Weaver. Because that was, like, the whole premise was, like, you... oh, we already finished that. Nice. But basically, the whole premise of him, or at least how I used him when he first came out, was he does true damage to first enemy, but then it moves them to the back. So what you can do is hit them with King Haldor, then hit them with Weaver, and you then were basically able to first slot kill... You're basically able to kill the first slot with Weaver, something you're normally not able to do. Because Weaver hits the last two, but Haldor moves them to the back. So you can do like Haldor, Weaver, and do it like that. And it wasn't bad. I just didn't feel like it was that worth using. But we did mess around with it some when it first came out. I'll catch you later, Defiant. Thanks for stopping by. Your ranking of Calica shows your dislike of elemental stars. Calica's not good, though. How on earth do you even get enough elemental stars, even with wands, to use Calica properly? Because the problem with elemental stars is they're kind of like wild cards, but not exactly wild cards. And that if you put any on the board, they're basically all going to insta-match themselves. It's one of the reasons why Centurion, despite being a lot of mana accumulation, generally doesn't have that high of a Devour rate. Because its Devour rate is based on 10% per elemental wild card on the board. But because wild cards are so commonly combined together, it normally has like a 10% or like 30% Devour rate. Because all the things get matched together. And she has the exact same issue. Like, for her to have a high enough amount of damage to be relevant, because she basically just has AoE, full AoE, but in 4 hits instead of 1 full AoE. So she's basically a full AoE, but split into 4 hits. So you have to compare that to things that can already AoE for 100, which means you would need at least 10 elemental stars on the board for Calica to be of higher value. Even if you could consistently create like 15 elemental stars per cast, or something similar, you would still have the issue of the elemental stars combining with each other. So there's almost no situation where she hits more than Diamantina, or Phoenicia, or Guard's Avatar, or any other similar thing that does this exact mechanic, basically, where it hits like full AoE. Like, obviously, it's distributed, so you don't have to worry about Submerge and stuff. But that's basically all her ability is. And you would need, on average, at minimum, 10 elemental stars on the board to get the full amount of value. And she has no board control, so you have to give up your turn in order to do the mechanic. So I don't see much of a use to ever use her for the most part, as there are just other options that do what she does way more consistently, as long as they're not Submerge. Which in most situations, you can just move around anyways. There's a lot of curses. Worst comes to worst, you can just put Wand on your team these days for 4 times curse. But I don't know. It's good when things start dying. Kind of like how Rowan gets a bit better than Guard's Avatar once things start dying. But beyond that, she's basically just a weaker full AoE compared to other options that exist. But once they start dying, she does technically do more damage from the focused damage that she does. It's just very situational that you would ever need it. And very hard to get that many elemental stars on the board without them combining together. Anyways, we did all the things. Let's go now and I kind of want to explore 12 chasing. We were doing some of it the other day, and I kind of want to go back to it. We haven't been doing it that much lately, but definitely got to get more value in there. We want to do it with Zolgoth. I kind of want to do it with a Diamantina build. Which Diamantina do I want? Probably this one. I'll run it with this one, I guess. I wanted to go with the non-Zolgoth route this time. You know what actually we should go do? We should go down the Skull route, like Wild King and everything. Isn't he in Soulforge this week? We're going over him on the Monday video. We could go do the Wild King Explore 12 version. Because that's pretty fun to use. Also, I should cast the other thing first. Whoops. It deserves better than D. Oh, maybe it was C then. I just don't see much of a case for when you would bring it out, though. Because it's basically just a distributed AoE that hits for way less than other AoEs. It's almost like all those AoE dragons that do almost nothing. Except in mythic form. But hers are distributed. But very rarely is it being distributed relevant. Because you also have to keep in mind, like, Mambasera and stuff like that, where it hits in even more individual hits, and something like that I actually feel like is better. Because you're hitting in more independent hits. Because one of the whole gimmicks of Calica is that it hits multiple times. But why use something that hits multiple times when you can use something that hits even more multiple times? Because if the main gimmick of why you're using it is the multiple hit thing, you can just use something that has higher multiple hits. In a sense. Because the way I've always seen Calica is it's basically just full AoE, but 4 hits instead of all spread. That's the only difference it really has. Whereas some of the others are a bit more unique. Like Tina 9000, if it double taps anything, it basically dies. We have Mambasera, which does 6 individual hits. Which, if you're looking for, like, you know, total amount of hits, it works out better that way because it gets through barrier better and stuff like that. So if they're, like, all barrier, it still can concentrate quite a bit of damage. Even better than Tina 9000 sometimes. Because less of your damage is going to the barrier proc. It also makes things like Reflect not do as much. But what's something I always found really weird. Reflect never became a thing. That's one thing I actually really liked in Puzzle Quest 1, like one of the other games the Gems of War developers made way back when. Reflect Tank was actually like a viable build. I believe even in Puzzle Quest 2 it was. But for whatever reason, in Puzzle Quest 3 and in Gems of War, there's basically no such thing as a Reflect Tank. Where you can kind of just bulk up and just reflect all your damage. At least in a viable way. Like, you can theoretically do it in Gems of War, it's just not viable to do. And I'm kind of surprised, because they actually did it really well in some of their earlier games. And for whatever reason, all their more recent games, they don't really do Reflect Tank properly. Despite the fact that they nailed it early on in their games. It's something I never really understood. Because everything that has Score Reflect in Gems of War doesn't Score Reflect enough. Like, all of them should be double what they are. And the actual Reflect mechanic is just used so sparingly that it's, like, barely anywhere in the game. And it's very unusable. You're gonna go catch a scary movie. Have a good night, Isabel. Catch you later. See you tomorrow. But yeah, we'll probably start the old school RuneScape around 10 tomorrow. When we go do that tomorrow. We'll probably be recapping everything initially too, so you probably won't miss much. Pretty sure we're gonna have like almost a half an hour of recap. Gosh, it's been 3 months since we played. Well, not 3 months since we played, but 3 months since we streamed it. Let's see. What do we need here? We'll go and take that thing over. Oh, don't you... No! I wouldn't even get to say it. I was going to say, don't you dare die to that death mark. And before I can even fully finish, it dies to that death mark. Oh, how unfortunate. I can't believe that just happened. I saw that coming a mile away, but... it's so unfortunate. You know it's going to happen, but it just hurts when it happens. Even though you know there's like 100% chance it's going to happen. Still unfortunate every time. wait here. We'll take the buff. If anyone else has any other questions or anything you want me to go over, do let me know. Oh, so am I even chasing 20% right now? No, I'm not. Why am I just spamming Karakroth? I did Karakroth initially because I was going for the 20% bonus thing. Not sure why I'm still going there. Alright, we'll take our Thrall, get that rolling. Get our little bit of mana infusion there. Go for what should be full combo. Oh no! We didn't get extra turn from Skull. Watch, he's going to do it now because we don't need it anymore. He didn't do it either time. Luckily, we didn't need it the second time. Oh yeah, in random bugs in room stories, I actually have a second corner spider, and it was there for a couple days, and now I don't know where it went. Because whenever I have corner spiders, the corner spiders don't like to interact with each other, so they all go to a different corner of the room. And I'm not sure where new corner spider went. He was there for a while, then I went to grab breakfast one day, and then he was gone. So he's out there somewheres. Lurking out there. And he was pretty big too. Not like massive, but big compared to what I've been seeing here. It's one of those pretty harmless ones from what I could tell though. So I just kind of let him chill there. And he was pretty good just staying in his corner, and then he just went off one day. Why didn't I kill it? I was considering it. But I don't know, he was kind of calm. And then he moved, so now the next time I see him, he's dead. I don't mind corner spiders if they just stay in corner. The problem is when they move from corner. Because they're not going to do anything to just stay in corner. That's fine. They can stay there forever. The second they move from corner is concerning, though. They are in very limited life support at that point. If they leave their corner. But yeah, there's been a lot more bugs now that the weather's been getting nicer. It's very annoying because I hate bugs. That's one thing I've never understood as, like, a society. Is how we haven't advanced enough to, like, completely remove all insects and wildlife from, like, normal areas, like cities and such. Because there are other ways to get the soil the way it needs to be and stuff like that. That don't require worms and similar things. Like, you can just move the entire ecosystem somewhere else. And just keep it out of, like, cities and other areas. Like, I can understand, like, more rural areas and everything. But I feel like by now we would have found a way to, like, remove all insects from standard life. Especially the more lethal ones, like mosquitoes and such. Hey, an Anu. Finally, a good medal. You know, that's our first Anu or Nisha in so long. Mostly because we haven't been doing Explore 12. But also because we've been kind of getting a little unlucky on them. Each night, a corner spider left the corner and crawled over you. No, actually, he did go back to corner. He actually only left during the day when I was gone. I think he was actually, like, waiting until I left the room to move. Like, I think it knew I was there. I'm not sure what kind of perception they have of things. But it didn't move during the night. It only moved when it no longer saw I was in the room. When I went to go grab breakfast. So it knows. I probably just moved lower down in the corner. Like all the way to the bottom of the corner. Normally they move up to the top of the corner. But sometimes they move down. I think they like the heat at the top a little bit more. Because a lot of the times I think they're getting in through the vent. So they're already in like a lower area, so normally they want to go to a higher area. And soon we'll have spidey senses. The corner spider senses are tingling. I am curious why they never go anywhere other than the corners, though, pretty much. Because they love standing in a way where half their legs are on one side of the wall and the other half are on the other side of the wall. Like, never are they on, like, just one wall. They love being on both, for some reason. Maybe it's just less strain on their legs or something. Almost like sitting, but not sitting. When I was a kid, I used to look at spiders for like hours on end. Just seeing what on earth they would do. I also used to, of some of the, like, the non-lethal ones, I would actually, like, pull apart his leg one by one to see what it would do and react. I would literally tear its legs off one by one just out of curiosity. Because I would have been, like, what, like 4 or 5 years old at the time? But yeah, I didn't actually fear them at all or anything. Until I learned what more lethal spiders were, and then it's like, oh, I'm never doing that again. Hey, we got another Anu. They move very weirdly when they have less legs. Because, you know, they're so used to having 8. So having less is, you know, quite detrimental. But they definitely get quite a bit weirder movement. Like, they know how to with, like, 6. But once they start getting down to, like, 4, 3, and obviously anything less than that, they have, like, no clue how to function. Also, oops, this isn't on the right explore level, is it? It is not. Let's go fix that, because I think we can quit midway through and still get the bonus. About to find out. Oh, wait. No! I did that so I could reset it! No! What a fail. I did that so I could reset it, and then I just said no to resetting it. Whoops. Alright, do we still get the bonus here? Yeah, we do. Hey, Intribute's ready. Look at that. Okay, we'll make this the last cycle, then. Actually, you know what? Let's not do it in White Helm. White Helm has really annoying spell reduction once you get to the higher end. Let's do, like, Keyzale or something. Let's shout Keyzale here. Yeah, luckily where I lived in New Jersey when I was growing up, there weren't really that many lethal spiders there. There's a lot more lethal spiders in this area, but I generally don't see them. Like, we have things like Black Widows and such, but I haven't seen a Black Widow in South Carolina since I was, like, maybe 12? Like, it's been a long while since I've seen a Black Widow in this area. I think they might have done some things government-wise to try to exterminate as many of them as they possibly could. These are definitely pretty high up there on... Like, not the most lethal spiders in existence, but, you know. Relative to what exists in America, there's pretty high up there. But I think on a government level, they kind of did some stuff to try to exterminate them for the most part. Or probably, because I have not seen a single one in at least a decade. Over a decade at this point. Could just be in an area where there are just not as many of them, though. It's like until you get a hello. Hello, Bill Warhammer! Wait, you were already here? I thought you were. My bad. Hello, as we're about to end. This will probably be the last battle we go for now. Until tomorrow. But yeah, we'll be messing with the new troop tomorrow. Has a new Fairy Fire mechanic on it. Though it's pretty much just standard Fairy Fire. It's basically just Fairy Fire that can back up, that can accidentally hit your own team. It's nothing particularly special. It's likely just weaker Queen Titania in almost every metric. Which essentially just makes it pointless to ever use. But we'll still try to see. Maybe it's actually pretty good. We'll find out tomorrow. But from what I could tell, it just looks like weaker Queen Titania. And there's already mythics that do like double effect with Fairy Fire and stuff like that. No, we'll see what it can do. Maybe he has better team synergies, like typing-wise. Wow, we did really good on Anus. 3 Anus tonight. Not bad. Especially for how short of a duration we went for. But anyways, guys, hope you all enjoy your summer. I will catch you guys soon. We will be back tomorrow night. Same time as always, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 hour prior to now tomorrow. We will be messing with the new troop of, what's her name? The new troop of Forenza tomorrow. See if we can make anything work with her. Who knows, maybe we'll even synergize her with Queen Titania. We'll make something work. She's from Bright Forest, so we'll try making Bright Forest related teams too. Build like a pure Bright Forest team or something along those lines. But yeah, we'll see what I can do. It's probably just weaker Queen Titania, but you never know. Maybe we'll get some kind of build that can actually function. And the best way to do that is try to use her under Bright Forest and just kind of see if we can get like a kingdom build going for her that is coherent and usable. And that'll be the game plan for tomorrow. Anyways, guys, we'll catch you later. Enjoy your week, and see you guys later. Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching.